Hey guys, Aries here. Gonna switch it to in-game LOL. So yeah, okay. So I am just looking over a game that I played a while ago. I'm the Ezreal, just to show you, um, how to do a level 2 sort of thing. Just looking at how it went, just to kind of see where I may have messed up and other things like that. So yeah. So at this point in time, I'm just farming up. No one's been able to burn anything. And I'm not pushing the wave as hard as I could be. So Jinx is running back. I run forward. I know I'm gonna hit that CS after minions hit it like 4 times. And I'm gonna get rocketed out. So I CS that. And I know that Tahm Kench is in that brush, so I'm trying to stay away from it. So again, and that's, he looped down like this, so I'm gonna loop up like that. This also gives me vision control, so if I place my trinket in here, it's going to protect against a jungle gank. And since it's only 2.5 minutes, I know that jungler's still clearing his buff, which, bam, and that they will be too low to gank bottom anytime soon. So I don't need to use my trinket yet. That would be an unoptimal or suboptimal ward. So I just keep trying to push the wave, and I already know that I'm going to hit level 2 first, because if we look at the wave, this minion has more damage dealt to it than any of the other minions in the lane, so I'm going to kill the first minion of this wave, which means this wave is pushing towards them, so more minions are going to die for them than ours will, so I'll get more experience, or I'll get the experience sooner than them, so I'll hit level 2 first. So if you click on me, so I'm still about 3 minions away from that level 2. So I should be going in to get that one, and then Jinx should be punishing me for it, so she isn't there. So 2 more minions for level 2, so I'm trying to auto-attack. I missed one. So now what you see me do is I'm running in, or I should be running forward for that level 2. I hit level 2, I'll get my E, and then I'll EQ Jinx. So I E forward, I auto-Q, auto. I missed the Q because of a minion, but whatever. So unfortunately, Nami didn't hit level 2 yet, but I went forward there. Now I'm just kiting back into the brush so I don't take minion damage. And I thought Nami would have been level 2 already, but I went aggressive on Jinx, so that ended up winning the trade on her. And I'm running back. I shouldn't be running into Nami like that. I should be running back, and I'm just autoing Jinx as much as possible. She should not be autoing the minions when I'm trading against her. So at this point in time, Jinx backed off. Tahm Kench stayed forward, so he's dead. My E's gonna come up soon. My Q is up already. I auto Q, auto him, and then auto again, then E auto, and he's dead. So yeah, and I still have my heal, so Nami's not actually in any danger. She still has her exhaust, so there's no way that she's going to die, because if I see that Tahm Kench is going to be doing anything cute, as soon as I see that Devour animation, I'm going to heal her. So there's really nothing to worry about. So I auto, and I run into him so that I don't miss my Q. So I auto him again, and then my E's going to be up so I can E into him if I need to. So I just auto him, so that gets the kill, so I can E into Jinx, and I get really close so that I don't miss my Q. I auto her, she flashes, and then I Q for the double kill. So, and that's just playing off of a level 2 aggression, but they should have been able to turn it around because Nami didn't hit level 2 yet. But at the very least, we still had summoners, so Jinx used her flash and her heal. We didn't use any summoners here, so we still won this trade, even though I went a little bit too ham when Nami wasn't 2 yet. I should have waited for one more minion. But considering we won that so one-sidedly, I guess, without using summoners, even if we would have kept being aggressive and they would have fought that a little bit better, we would not have died. But yeah, so we end up winning that. We hit level 2, I push the wave, and I want to recall before they get back to lane, so that when this big wave pushes it into tower, and the big thing here is you want to push this into tower. If this just freezes, Jinx is going to get most of this farm, and you don't want that happening. So you push it into the tower so that the tower takes damage and the laner misses that farm to the tower. Even if they show up and they get all the experience from it, because of the awkward health that these minions are going to be at, they still might miss a few minions to the tower, and that's going to be big for gold gain. So now I'm a kill up, or 2 kills up, because I got the double kill. So that's effectively 400 gold, maybe a little bit more than that. So yeah, so it's closer to 700 gold, because yeah, I'm not really sure, but yeah, so it's about 300 gold for a kill, which is about 20 CS. So yeah, so I should be roughly 600 gold up, and that's good. So I make Jinx miss a lot of this farm. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because we count that twice. 11 times 20, so that's about 220 gold. So if I push this to the tower and Jinx loses half of this, this is about an assist's worth of gold that she'd be missing out on, so we want to push it to the tower. I'm also able to get another wave before I recall. If we look here, this is not a cannon wave, so what I would be doing is I'd be pushing this wave, I'd recall, and I'd be back at lane, I'd be around here, or maybe a little bit closer here at around 4 minutes, and that's when the next cannon wave spawns. So I'm going to be getting to lane with the next cannon wave. So that's really important. You never want to be missing cannon waves like that, and I'm not sure why it's so choppy. Again, I'm going to check, see if anything weird's going on. I'm going to close my internet because that might be causing some of it. And okay, so I'm going back to law now. Okay, and yeah, so we push it aggressively into tower to deny some CS before we back, and we want to be coming back to lane for this cannon wave. We don't want to be missing any cannon waves because that's really, really big. So I push this to the tower, I recall, Jinx misses 1 minion, and it aggroes the cannon, which is pretty big. So Jinx misses 2 minions, 3 minions, 4 minions, 5, 6, 7 minions. So she lost an entire wave because we decided to push it to the tower. So that's pretty big. That makes up for this wave that I'm missing as I recall and return to base. Or I return to lane. So I pick up my Sheen, and I pick up a couple of potions. I pick up the mana potion because I am going pretty aggressive with my E's and my Q's. So since I'm spamming those, the mana potion will be pretty good for me. And look, I'm returning to lane with the cannon wave, and Nami should not be pushing this. She should be freezing and getting as much farm as she can by herself, and last hitting that because that's extra gold that you're missing out on for the support. And since Jinx is pushing this in, I'm not losing a lot of minions here. If the laner's not in lane, and it's not, and you know that like they're returning to lane, it's not like they're gone for another 40 seconds because you killed them. You want to freeze it so that there's more minions attacking your minions to kill your minions before the laner comes back to lane. So yeah, so I only miss about 3 or 4 minions there. Nami ended up picking one up anyways, so that's not that bad. So Nami's back to being comparable to me on levels, and I'm here for the cannon. So this is nice. I can continue farming. And since I have the kills, I'm still up in gold and Jinx, so it's not even that big of a deal that I'm behind in farm. I can fall behind in farm and still be in a good spot because we're up so far in kills. So now I'm just going to start spamming some taunts just to play into the whole player psychology thing and try and get them tilted. So cannon, whatever, going to see if I can get that. At this point in time, I'm just going to be farming because even though I'm here, I'm not really able to do a lot of aggressive things onto Jinx because this is a lot of, this is a full wave of caster minions which deal a ton of damage. So I'm not going to be aggressive on Jinx to pull this into the tower. I want to freeze it here and try and thin out this wave as much as I can. So I should be using my Q and my E to be farming a little bit so I can thin this wave out. And Nami should also be helping me thin this out so that this next wave doesn't push into the tower. So, and again, just one thing to note, it's not just that there's tower damage and that the tower is attacking minions. Once it pushes into tower, the enemy laners don't need to be in lane anymore. They can go in ward, they can go in roam, they can get free backs. It's a lot more map pressure that they can apply to the blue side because they don't need to be pushing the lane anymore. They can just wait for the tower to reset the wave, which gives them 20 to 30 seconds to be somewhere else on the map. So that's why you don't want it pushing to your tower. And also because it will end up resetting, obviously, so that they're not having to CS this far forward, which makes it harder to get any blue side jungle ganks in because their jungler's not able to run around like this anymore. So yeah, really important that the wave doesn't actually push into tower. So Nami should be attacking these, not attacking this one. It's going to hit another time, and I don't know why I didn't wait for that tower shot to hit it again. So 2 tower shots and then 1 auto attack. Nami should not be attacking this either. 2 tower shots, 1 auto attack. Then I'm going to auto that, or Nami should auto that once, and then I can auto it after. But yeah, so bad CSing by me. Oops, ended up missing that one. Not sure if I was lagging at this point, but I do miss a few CS under tower. And see, they can back off, and they have complete vision control of the lane at this point in time. So I just get a free Q for Jinx. I know that she's out of position, so I can just E forward and Q her again, auto her. I know that there are minions in the way, so I'm not too worried about Zap or even Tahm Kench because there are minion support here, and we can run back to our tower. Nami's here, and Jinx is forced back. So we get the exhaust because of that E forward. And he beats me. Oh no, not too big of a deal. And again, I still have my heal. So I heal and Nami exhausts. So at this point in time, since the exhaust is on Jinx and my heal was up, I use the heal. I have the speed boost. That's a lot of utility stats, so I run around and I keep autoing Jinx. I try to kite, chase, or walk, whatever you want to call it, but stutter stepping forward, and that allows me to kill Jinx and kind of kite around the minions a little bit, and kite around Tahm Kench. So IE forward, Nami flashes, I throw a Q in, and that should get the kill. So there's that, and even if that wouldn't have gotten the kill, Nami would have had the bubble there, so Nami didn't need to flash there. But, you know, we win. All of their summoners are down now. My flash is still up, so I can still be aggressive even harder early on, or even later into this game because my flash is up. So even if the jungler were to come at this point in time, it's not that big of a deal because my flash is still up. And then again, I just try to push it as much as I can, trying to get level 6, and then once I hit level 6, it's a little bit too early for 6, I think. Come on. Yeah, so not level 6 anytime soon. So I just try to push this into the tower so that Jinx loses a little bit of it. So yeah, and Nami should be helping me farm this. And yeah, so I knew that Nami was leveling her bubble a little bit into the game. I told her, you know, don't level your Q. And I noticed just from the amount of damage it dealt. So at this point in time, we can get the free back. I don't think I have a lot of gold for stats here now. So I think I pick up the tier because I'm winning so one-sidedly in lane. So normally you don't pick up the tier. Tier is a luxury item. Okay, yeah, so I guess I saw that. Or no, I do end up picking up the tier. Yeah, because I figured, you know, Jinx doesn't have anything yet. She ended up getting boots, so even with the Sheen, I'm still ahead of her in terms of damage we can output because I'm able to get this longsword. So, you know, we're even on offensive items. I have the Sheen, and I still have more mobility than her because of my E, whatever it's called, Arcane Shift. So I'm able to get the tier, and I'm still up on her in terms of damage. So that's when you can get the tier. So I'm on tier, have Sheen. I'm going to be finishing my Triforce unless I get another few kills that allow me to pick up the Manamune whenever I can. Like on my next recall, if I can pick that up, I'm going to get it. If not, I'm going to finish the Triforce. But I don't want to go too much further into this game. I just want to see it for the laning phase and how I did. So even at this point in time, it's 7 minutes in and we're almost 3k gold up. So what I did there is I ulted, then I tried to E through my ult so that I would get the 5 stacks immediately, and then try to just W them and Q them and just push the wave and try and get some free damage on them so that even if Jinx wanted to trade me with her minigun attack speed, I have the 5 stacks from my ultimate. Though I guess that doesn't really matter because if it hits a target you get 5 stacks anyways. I guess I wanted to E through my W or something. I don't know. I don't know, I'm just screwing around at this point. But yeah, so Jinx threw down her trap, so we know that's on cooldown right now. My trinket's up, so I'm probably going to be trinketing this brush. Yeah, there it is. So I see Jinx, she's hugging the brush. Tahm Kench is hugging the top half of the lane, which is good. If your carry's on the bottom half, support wants to be on the top half. So you see that's what we're trying to do. I'm always trying to stay on the right side of this road if Nami's on the left side. This is better lane positioning. I see that Evelyn's mid right now, so I know that there's really nothing to worry about here. It's still the 2v2, and we are really far ahead. Tahm Kench is level 4. There's really nothing to worry about. So I'm missing a lot of farm, though, and I'm running back, so I can be playing this a little more aggressive. So definitely something to be worrying about. But I think at this point in time, I was a little bit focused on, oh crap, I'm falling really far behind in CS. I only have 40 at this point in time. I should be closer to 60, 70, or 80 CS, so I have half the farm, so I really need to focus on CS. But actually looking at it at this point in time, I've kept up with everyone else. I'm 3 kills up on everyone else. So there's really not, you know, there's nothing to really worry about in terms of farm because I'm keeping up with my opponents, I'm keeping up with my allies. So, yeah. And then here's another thing. So since I have the tier, I'm never really afraid, and since Evelyn was showing mid like that, I'm never really afraid of holding my E in lane, especially when my flash is up. So if Nami goes for a trade, I'm going to try to E in for the extra burst damage. Now, that would be different if, you know, Evelyn hasn't shown in a very long time. Then I'd be thinking, okay, Evelyn can gank at any point in time. Or if they had a teleport top laner, or, well, I guess they do, but since he's not doing a ton yet, there's nothing to really worry about. It's not like the laning phase is over by any means, so it's not like there's going to be a big teleport in here. And even if that's the case, it's not like it's going to do me too much trouble. So I'm just farming, and you know, even at this point in time, I should be standing a little bit further forward so I can zone them out even harder. And at this point, Nami really wants to show from this brush, so if you see me play support, sometimes what I would do is I would be standing here, and I'd left-click out of the brush, then I'd click back into the brush, then I'd click out, in, and it just kind of, it messes up the minions' aggro, so they'll aggro onto you if they kill a minion, and then you run into the brush, and then they aggro onto the enemy minions, and by doing that, you can also tell, is this brush warded? Because if it's warded and the minions still have vision of you, they'll chase you into the brush. So, and as we can see, it's not warded, so there is no vision here, so what we should be doing is aggroing like this, just in and out of the brush like that, dash dancing, and making it, because if Jinx doesn't see Nami in this brush, it doesn't actually apply a lot of pressure. It's just a little bit of pressure that's like, they could be in here, so whatever. But if you're running back and forth, it's almost like you're taunting them, saying, I know that you know I'm in this brush, but I'm running in and out of the brush to taunt you, to say like, haha, you know I'm here, but you can't hit me. And this pressures her back. So, always try and do that. Nami, okay, so at this point in time, Nami ended up ultimating. Even if Nami didn't want to do that, this ultimate applies a ton of pressure that these guys can't respond. Like, they can't reciprocate this because they're not level 6 yet. So this gives me a free E, auto, Q, auto, W, auto onto whoever I want throughout the knockup. Even if it doesn't hit, it still pressures them to the side of the tidal wave that allows me to get all this skill shots off. So as soon as I see this, immediately I run forward, I E forward, and I go onto Jinx. So even if I wasn't planning on doing this, even if Nami wasn't planning on doing this, because she tidal waved like this and they're not 6 yet, I can be like super aggressive and we might be able to get a flash from Jinx. So this, I just react to the tidal wave, I E in, I Q, I W, and I eat a bunch of damage onto the Jinx. So she gets the flash, and that's fine. We trade tidal wave for flash. So that's really good. So a 1 minute or a 70-second cooldown. Okay, yeah, it's about a just under 2 minute cooldown for a 5 minute cooldown, which is really good for us. So really choppy still. Holy crap! Wait, I'm just gonna pause it for a sec. Really not sure why it's doing that so much. Closing all of the processes. And yeah, okay. So let's see if that fixes it. Okay, and then yeah, so I just end up ultimating that. Might have, okay, so actually let's see if that's going to kill Jinx. So Jinx had 315 HP. This deals a lot more than that, so okay, so let's actually calculate this. So this deals 350 plus 41, so that's 391 plus 23, so 391. I'm actually going to go like that. Okay, so that deals 391 plus 23 equals 414 damage. So this is 414 true damage before defenses. Like that. So defenses are calculated where it's 100 divided by 100 plus, this is going to be magic damage, so we're going to go magic resist. And just verifying, magic damage, yep. And 10% for each unit it hits, maximum 30%, so we can multiply 414 by 0.3, or 0.6. Okay, so no, it actually would not have killed Jinx because it went through the minions, so we don't even need to do the magic resist calculation. So Jinx would not have died there, so there's really nothing else to look at. So I'm going to go back in-game and just see how the rest of this laning phase goes. So at this point in time, we would want to be a little bit worried, like Evelynn could be ganking us. I'm not super full on mana, but I do have enough to get out. I still have my heal, so even if Eve slows me, I can just E out and then use my heal for the speed boost to get me and Nami out of there. Nami has her speed boost and her heal from her passive and her W, so we have a lot of mobility, even though Nami's not the super crazy, like most high mobility. We have a lot of peel disengage that we should be alright, even if Evelynn were to try and gank us like this, which she should be trying to do. But maybe not now because the lane is so out of control. But there she is. So she tries to do stuff. I end up flashing out of it. I was out of mana. I did already E. Okay, so I didn't have heal, but I had my flash. I run back in. The ultimate misses. That's fine. And we can see we force Jinx out. Tahm Kench is extremely low. And Evelynn, at this point in time, she doesn't have anything. She can't actually kill the Nami, so I'm just trying to kill the Tahm Kench. And see, since it's the 2v2, since we sent Jinx back and she wasn't even able to ult us for the damage, we can turn this around. So what Nami should be doing is, if her trinket is up, which it is not, so we won't even worry about it, she'd be warding this. So we just run into the bush, no big deal. I end up autoing her, get another kill, and at this point in time, they're tilted. They're super tilted. Eve is never going to show bottom, because bot was like, oh, Eve gank, Eve gank, Eve gank, Eve gank. And, like, when you're losing lane, you're always going to call for the jungle assistance, and they're going to be a little bit flustered from that, because it's like, what are you doing bot lane? You're losing to the 2v2. You should be able to at least stay even in that. I'm not going to gank the losing lane. And then, you know, Eve might be thinking, okay, well, I'm going to gank them once. We might be able to turn it around. And then you end up killing the jungler. The jungler's going to say, you know, screw this. I'm not helping you guys. You guys are on your own. I'm just going to farm for now. So, you know, really good, and this is the type of stuff that would close out a game. So, yeah, and it was really one-sided. Mid-game, we just started screwing around. I think Xin went full AP out of this, and, yeah, it was just a really funny game. But I wanted to go over the laning phase just to see if there were a lot of misplays, which there were for the red side, but I wanted to see, you know, like, I did E forward a lot of times I should not have been able to. But you know, because Eve didn't really punish me for it, Tom Kench didn't really punish me for it. And it's these kind of overplays that will allow you to climb against weaker opponents if, you know, you're or if you're a gold player and you're in silver or bronze even. Doing these sort of E forwards that aren't going to be punished, there are ways to get a lot of free damage off. And even the same way, like I was saying, like Jinx should be auto-attacking me, punishing me for the CS that I'm about to get, and she's not doing that. So that's another thing that weaker opponents aren't going to do, is they're not going to punish you for every CS you get. They're not going to be trading against you for this farm. And, yeah, and just being able to determine, you know, how skilled is my opponent, how much are they punishing me for these things, how much can I overplay, and just being able to determine that based on how they've been moving in the laning phase. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end that there. I think we just get the dragon, we get the tower, and then we start rotating out of that. So, yeah, I don't know, hopefully it's been a useful video for how to snowball a game as Ezreal, or even from the bot lane, because this was a very snowballed game. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.